In this class, you're going to be using templates throughout the semester. And these templates are created in order for you to have these built in, and you don't have to worry about the composition, the size of the page that you are using. It's all decided on the first class. And this allows you to work within these composition sizes and focus strictly on typographic design. Now the first thing we're going to do is go right into the folder that we created earlier, and it shows the naming conventions: Class 1, Class 2, Class 3, and inside you have all of your fonts, links, old designs, PDFs, etc. But down here we have the templates. And now we're going to work within this. So I'm going to open that up, and it'll be right underneath there, and I'm going to have the arrow come down as well so that you can see what's in the folder in two different places. So now what I'd like you to do is to open up InDesign like so, and we are going to create new, and you'll get a new document. All right, so please don't pay attention to my work here. So within this now, we have the default size, 51 picas by 66 picas, and we don't want to work in picas. We're going to change that to inches. All right, 8.5 by 11 inches. We also do not want to have facing pages. We're just going to work with single pages. Everything else we're going to leave as default. So let's create this. And here you have it. Now what I want to do is to dock it within our InDesign program, and this is what you should be seeing. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is to create our live area. So let's go over here to the rectangle frame tool, and I'm just going to click in here twice, and we are going to create a box that is 7.5 inches by 9 inches. So let's do that, and here is our box, and I'm going to snap it right into position there. So this area now is what's known as our live area. And here, what I'd like to do now, let's go up here, and we are going to make this a 0.25 point boxed rule around it, like so. 0.25 is also known as hairline rule. So that's something that I will be using that term every once in a while. So that's all there. Now let's see how this looks. What I'm hitting now is Shift Option Command Y, and that gets rid of the architecture. And then you hit Command colon, and that gets rid of the outlines. And this is what you should be seeing now. It's strictly a black ruled box, hairline rule, a ½ inch, ½ inch, ½ inch, and down here 1.5 inches. Now let's get through those key commands again. Command colon, and you can see the outlines. Shift Option Command Y, and you can see the architecture. Always use your key commands. Now I'm going to get rid of that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this box, and I'm going to Object, and I am going to lock this into place. So you cannot move this no matter what. So that is the beginning of this. This area, all in here, is known as your live area. That is where you will be creating all of your artworks, all of your graphic designs for this class that will fit into an 8.5 by 11 page. Now the reason why I do this is because the standard for a printer is 8.5 by 11. So it just makes it easy. The reason why we have these 1/2 inch spaces all the way around, 1.5 inches at the bottom, is because when you print it out, you don't want your design to be bleeding off of the edges and you'll get inconsistent spaces on the sides. So that's the start of this. Now, let's bring our arrow back to the toolbar and let's go to the type tool. And what I'm going to do is, at this 1/2 inch mark here, I'm going to create a box. And let's see the architecture there, Shift Option Command Y, and you can see the flashing cursor. Now what I would like you to do is to type in your name, and of course I'm going to put my own name there, and then underneath that, let's do a return, VIS236, then underneath that put the word date, and underneath that put the words title of project. As simple as that. Now you've just typed it in. Now that's not typography, that's typing. So now we're going to style this a little bit. I would like you to highlight this by hitting Command A. That will highlight the entire box of text. Let's try that again. Command A. It's much better than dragging your mouse upward or downward to highlight the text. So Command A, like so, and I'm going to choose a font. Let's go up here to type, and I am going to choose Helvetica Neue Light, like so. So this is what it should look like at this point. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to style this further by actually changing this to 9 point, and then underneath it we're going to change the leading to 12 point, like so. Notice that it is flush left as well. Now let's take this and we're going to pull that in to the 6 inch mark of the ruler. Right over up here, that 6 inch mark, so it lines up oh so nicely. Now let's do the next step. We're going to highlight this, and you're going to hit Option, and you're going to see that the arrow turns to a double arrow, which means if you hold down the Option, drag it over, make sure your lines are lined up, you can see it's duplicated. All right. So now I'm going to highlight it again, Command A, and I'm going to put in the word logo, like so. All right, we're not done. Command A, we're going to highlight it, and then I'd like you to go to Command B. And what that will do then is bring up our text frame options. Let's try that again. I'm going to highlight that and Command B, and you've got text frame options. Vertical justification, we want that to be centered. So let's center that like so. We're going to keep that as logo, but I think what I'd like to do is go up here and change it to Helvetica Neue Bold, like so. All right, let's hit Command colon and Command Shift Option Command Y, and this is what your template should look like at this point. All right, so now what I'd also like to do, I forgot to do this, let's highlight this text over here, Command B, and we are going to center that as well. This is your final template for the 8.5 by 11. But now look what's going on over here. You've got the word untitled and a little asterisk next to it. We have not saved this, and I hope you have not saved this. Now what you're going to do is go to File, Save As, and what we're going to do is go to our desktop right there, and you have VIS236 Fall 2020. That is our master folder, and we're going to open it. Then we're going to open up Templates, and it says Untitled 3. You're going to save it exactly with this wording. Design Format, capital letter A. That's all you're going to name that. Don't save yet. Now if you look down here in this area, it says InDesign 2020 document. We do not want to save it as a document. We want to save it as a template, like so. So InDesign 2020 template. Let's save that, and there it is. So now you have up here, the title of this is Design Format A.indt, InDesign template. Let's click out, and you'll see up here in the master folder, you've got the templates folder, Design Format A, INDT, and here, Design Format A, INDT, we have the redundancy showing off within the template. Now the reason why we save it as a template is so that it is there forever. You can never save over this unless you resave in the template format. So I'm going to open this again, like so, and let's hit Shift Option Command Y so I can see my work here. And I'm just going to create a little typographic design. We'll just call it Typography Test, like so. Command A, then Shift Command C to center it, Shift Command greater than to make it bigger, and there we have it. And I'm going to pick out a really neat font. Let's use Chunk 5. Make it a little smaller, and there you have it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to File, Save As, and look at that. It saves as Untitled 4. So I'm going to go to this section here and go back to the master folder, class-01, and I'm going to call this VIS236 type test-01. And by default, it will save it as an InDesign 2020 document. I could save it as a template, but not going to happen. I'm going to save it as the default document and save. Let's click out. Let's click out of this, and you will see I still have my design template there, but now I am going to look up here in the class 1, and you'll see the project 1 and 2 we created when we made the folders, and we also have here type test-01. Let's open that up and see what it looks like, and there it is. Now let's look at this. If I wanted to change this to Molot, like so, I would save. I wouldn't save over it. I would go to Save As and create it test-02. So there you go. That is the first of our templates. Now what I'm going to do is create one more template here, and then I'm going to leave the rest for you to create. So now, if we go back to Adobe InDesign 2020, and we're going to create new, and now what I'm going to create, well, before we go there, let's go to inches, and we do not have facing pages clicked, so that's good. And I want to make this 11 inches wide by 17 inches tall. That is, yet again, another one of the default sizes for a printer. So let's create that. And there we have it. Let's drag that into the workspace. And now what I'm going to do is the same as before. I'm going to the rectangle tool. I'm going to click on the rectangle and make my live area 10 inches by 15 inches and hit OK. Let's snap it into the position like so. We're going to create that as a hairline rule, 0.25. Let's look at it, Shift Option Command Y and Command colon, and you can see what it looks like. It's really a bigger version of what we created already. I'm going to click on this. We're going to go to Object, and we are going to lock it in place. So again, we have our live area in here, 10 inches by 15 inches, and then we have the 1/2 inch sides, 1.5 inches at the bottom. Now, let me show you a little cheat here so we don't have to do work again. I'm going to open up Type Test 01, the 8.5 by 11 version, like so, and I'm going to click on Logo. I'm going to hit Shift, and I'm going to click on my little project area, my contact information over on the right. So they are both live. I'm going to hit Command C to copy it. Now, yes, you could go up here and hit copy, but there's the Command C. I want you to use your key commands. Highlight both of them, Command C, and let's just click out. So we have it copied, and we're back to our 11 by 17. I'm going to hit Command V. All right, Command V is paste. There it is again, paste, Command V. Do not use your menus, use your key commands. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this down here. I'm going to drag this down here, and let's get that centered in the space. Let's get that centered in the space, and simply as that, we now have our 11 by 17 template. Let's save this. Once again, we're going to go to File, Save As, and this will be in, let's go to our master file, right up here. Where are we? The master file, VIS236 Fall 2020. We're going to go into the templates, VIS236 templates, open it. Now remember, we're going to make this a template, not the default document. Now, just like here, where it says Design Format A, I'm going to change that to be Design Format B. As simple as that. In Design Template, let's save. There you go. So now, let's click out of this, and you'll see, we'll close Class 01. We now have Design Format A and Design Format B. So these are the templates that we will be using throughout the class. You do have 2 more templates to make. One is the Written Format template, and one is Design Format C. If you go to page 5 and 6 of the syllabus, you will see these templates are there for you to be refreshed with. So now we've reviewed this in class, and these videos are here really as an accessory to help you in case you've done it incorrectly, or if you just want to double check your work. So there you go, and till next time.